Hello, everyone. I thought 30 seconds was enough for me to share this, but just give me a second. Awesome. Hope we're all doing great. Happy Saturday. How are we doing? A big thank you to those of you who have joined. And if you joined, please kindly let me know where you're watching from. Let's have a little chat. It's one of those weekends. So we spend some time learning, we spend some time getting the information that we need to be better people. I know one of the things I emphasize on my page is this saying that for lack of knowledge, my people perish. So these are opportunities that we have to be better, to give out information, and just to learn from other people. I bet you all know that it is a big thing for me. I love it when people are willing to share what they're doing, share their experiences so that together we can just learn and be better people, right? This is for the good of our community. And that's why you will see the description at the bottom of the screen there saying creating awareness on digital skills in our community. Digital skills, this is one thing that, yes, it's been out here for a minute, but I still have a feeling that so many people do not have the information they need to either get started. A lot of people give up on the way. A lot of people start the whole process like, hey, Solange, I am learning a new skill. I'm interested in learning something new. And by the time you ask them for an update, maybe a few weeks or months later, they're no longer doing it. So the goal here is to continuously talk about these things so that it can encourage you, not only you, but your children, your siblings, your family members, your loved ones, just to make us aware that we are able to learn skills that are marketable, skills that do not require any specific degree or background. And I think that that is one of the advantages that in the digital world we have, because we do have that ability to learn new things without necessarily having a background in computer engineering. Again, if you do, it is a plus, but it is not a prerequisite. It is not a requirement for you to. And that is why I subscribe to this whole idea of learning new skills a lot, because I know that all it takes is that determination for you to want to do it. It's that hunger. As I always say, when you hunger for something, if you realize that and the big, like your life so far, you don't think that you've achieved what you would have loved to achieve, I believe that that hunger in you, that desire to want to learn something new or to have something that will pay you or just give you more resources than you have today, if you don't have that kind of hunger in you, you will not be pushed to put the effort that you need to put in this venture. And that is why whenever I come to talk about it, my target audience is always the people who are ready to move on. There are people, the people who are ready to pull the bull by the horn, if that's a good way to describe it, because it takes determination. It takes you to want to do this for you to succeed. It is not a get rich quick scheme. Digital skills are not, it's not something that you just go and you, if you do, you might be lucky to get something to do quick enough, but it will not be sustainable. That is why I prefer to put it out there more like, hey, this is something that you can study, this is something you can spend your time on, and with time, give it time, trust the process, and we'll get there. So you will always find that I'll have guests like this on my platform. So today I'm honored to be talking to Michael. And Michael is one of those Cameroonians, or one of those people. Your name doesn't even tell me that you're Cameroonian, but when you come up, you'll let us know. So he's one of those that does a great job to create that awareness, to sensitize our people about the importance of learning these skills. And whenever I have the opportunity to talk to people like this, I love to bring them on the platform, because this is information that I love to propel. This is information that I love to put out there So I'm going to bring Michael on, and he will tell us a little bit about, he will tell us not a little bit, he's going to tell us what he's doing, what his mission is, the goal he wants to achieve, the target audience he has, and let's just do this. And please, if you're watching this, whether we're watching it on YouTube or on Facebook, please kindly share. The goal here is to reach out to as many people as possible. Who knows that one person that is going to be inspired by our chat today and decide to pick up a new skill for 2025. So thank you all once more for joining. So thank you, Michael. Thanks for saying, for creating the time to come on here and chat with me and my guests. Give me a second as I pull you on the screen. There you go. Thanks again for coming on here to chat. Thank you, Katie, for watching on YouTube. Again, I always love when I have my audience on YouTube watching. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. So, Michael, welcome to the You Can Be Anything podcast. Welcome to the Solange Chair platform. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Who is Michael Atibuaghesamo? Wow, that's a good name.
All right, thank you so very much, Madam Solange. It's a pleasure. It's an honor for me to be on your podcast session. And I've always wished for a moment like this because information is all we can give for us to stay better. As you rightly said, my name is Michael Atibuaghesamo, and I am based in Cameroon in the Northwest region, precisely Bamenda. And over time, I've been that kind of optimistic youth who sees opportunities in every challenges, and I found myself, working with Tintech Consulting, which is a cybersecurity training institute, and for over the past 3 years, we have been able to create some impact and drive some change in the lives of many. Coupled or aside from that, professionally and educational wise, I am an agricultural technician by profession, and I had to learn some soft skills because I asked myself some time ago, if I have to wait for my cabbages and my spices and my vegetables to grow, what can I be doing while waiting for them to grow? And I saw that the fastest way was to adapt to technology because we are gradually getting into the digital era. So I found myself into cybersecurity. I found myself into graphic designing, which it's bringing about visuals to communicate information to about businesses to different persons, and also finding passion in venturing now deep into data analysis because every business, every company needs data. Yeah, so that's a briefing of me. As we ride on, we are going to get more.
Amazing. And hello to you, my Bamenda brother. I always love to give a shout out to anyone that is in Bamenda. That is my hometown. That is, I can't wait to set my feet down there someday and just enjoy life again and have the old times come back to life. So thank you for creating the time. Again, we are so lucky that you have what you need to be broadcasting with us today. I appreciate that so much. Before we get into the digital conversations, right, I wanted to throw some more light on your career, what you do. You said you were a farmer. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Okay, thank you so very much. Actually, I studied agricultural engineering in the university,
Okay,
that's
so
National Polytechnic.
agricultural engineering. Okay,
Yes.
that's the word I was looking for, agricultural
So
engineering.
in Yeah. So in 2018, I had a higher national diploma in agricultural engineering, but I have a bachelor's degree in crop production technology. And leaving school since 2019, rather, due to the insecurities we find ourselves in Bamenda, where you can't work, in lands because maybe you can work and maybe someone comes there and overshadows you to take your crops. We
Yeah.
know what how we face ourselves in crisis. I had now to engage more into animal production, where I worked with animals like pigs, birds, that's for poultry, chicken, and I worked with rabbits. Yeah. So I worked with these three sets, and that's what has been keeping me going before I had now to take a bold step to empower myself and go. And over time, I would say it's been an amazing journey because I run a CIG, a Common Initiative Group, that's been running for 5 years, legally registered. And we have been able to train over 1,500 farmers, both virtually and on site, travel to different parts of Cameroon to give them strategies for better productivity. And that's how we have been able to push through in the Northwest region for the meantime. So that's how I figure out with my profession.
That's amazing. And I must give you kudos for your flexibility and the fact that I understand since 2018 with the struggle and how the instability that has been back home, especially in the place where you're located, right? And the fact that you're flexible enough to say, okay, this is what I studied, this is what I am doing. But you know what? Considering that due to the insecurities around here, crops get seized and stuff, you switch to animal farming and you did that. I must give you credit for your flexibility. It's not something that is very common. A lot of people will just sit and whine and complain, like, "Oh, I used to do this, but now with the insecurities, there is no way I can do this anymore." But just listening to you talk and your ability to divert your attention from one thing that was becoming problematic to another thing that could still sustain you, I definitely want to appreciate you and give you some good credits for that. And again, just as a
Thank you
young
very
man,
much.
Aaron, it is not easy. Like my heart goes out to all of you who are struggling, trying your best to sustain life out there in spite of the challenges that we are facing in our country these days. Now, you said in the course of doing your farming, and now you decided to spend some time on learning digital skills. What exactly was your motivation? I know we're going to talk about what you do, but I love to get to know my guests. It helps me have a better chat with you. What was your motivation, that what made you want to get involved with think tech and even learn all of these digital skills that you've been learning so far and even teaching?
Okay, so actually, this was where my motivation came from. Now, looking at a scenario where I found myself in Bamenda, whereby we are bound by ghost towns, you cannot effectively carry on some activities. I looked at the digital space with the advancement in technology and the job opportunities, because I'm also very good at doing research. I find out what are the possible opportunities that happen within the globe or around the globe. And I discovered that there were a lot of tech opportunities. And since a lot of rumors, I will not say rumors for now, but a lot of news talking about technological advancement, I said to myself, okay, what happens if one day um, robots have to take over everything we are doing? Will I still have a place within the globe to work, be relevant? That was a question that triggered me, and I was like, okay, I use smartphones. How important can my smartphone be to me? Can my smartphone help save, or it can help destroy? I looked at businesses that are evolving every day. How do they want to gain visibility? They need to have what? Good websites. And now to have those websites are not enough. How do you turn to protect them? Because I turned, before studying cybersecurity, I have always been hearing about hackers who steal information, they sell them in the dark web, they make huge sums of money. Banks lose huge sums of money to hackers every year to pay ransom. That got, it triggered me a whole lot. And I said, okay, what can I do? The fastest way for me to be able to solve a problem, because I already identified some problems because of ignorance and negligence of information. I identified this and I said, okay, fine. If this is a problem and it is causing some issues to the people, I think I should fit in, get the know how, get the knowledge, and be able to save my own people. Through that as well, I will be able to grow. So that spiked an energy in me. Then I said, okay, fine, I have computer knowledge, but how am I going to process it? I said, okay, fine, I will need to add an additional skill to it. So now looking at companies, a lot of jobs were popping up in the online space. I was like, God, can I have this? I'm a farmer. How am I going to do this? I said, okay, fine. During the COVID-19 period, when we are on total lockdown, that is when I break the odds. I left my comfort zone. I said, I will not sleep throughout all this period. I think I should learn some soft skills. I started revisiting my computer notes. I engaged and enrolled into graphic designing, which I saw a lot of companies saying that for you to be qualified to get their jobs as their community manager, you should be able to create attractive visuals that can communicate rather than people reading every day. And I looked at possible opportunities, graphic designing suit it. So I had to find myself into it. Now that pushed me, and when I got in contact with Team Tech now, it spiked my motivation to another level because now I had it full blend where I could use my creative design skills to create creative and attractive visual content for the audience to consume, learn, and then I got going. So that was my motivation. What can I become if tomorrow the world becomes digital? Will I still have a space? So that
Yeah.
was my motivation.
That's amazing. And thank you for sharing that. The reason I asked you that question is because there are lots of people out there, a lot of your peers, especially in Cameroon, not only in Cameroon, even those who have traveled the world, right? They're in the diaspora somewhere. A lot of them are still blocked by the possibilities that are out here. And to think that you're on the ground, you're at ground zero, and you still have the motivation to learn these things. And with the knowing that this can really transcend, it can really move you to a better place. I definitely want to commend that and encourage anyone that is listening to, hey, please kindly share the video if you're watching us on YouTube, send up on Facebook as well. Please like the video so that um, Facebook can push this out for more people to view. And again, especially for those who, this is a end of year, right? And we want to be able to encourage people to pick up these skills, learn something, learn the soft skills, because these are the things that will make your 2025 better. It's something that a lot of people will not appreciate when they just hear us talking like this. But when you get into it, you'll realize that this is a life changing opportunity. Sitting here and listening to someone like Michael talk about his experience and the reasons why he chose to learn any of the digital skills that he has learned. And so, yes, Michael, thanks for sharing that information. You're not late, Nana. We practically just started. So, tell us now, what do you do for Think Tech Consulting? What do you do at Think Tech Consulting? I know Think Tech Consulting is a training institute, if I'm not wrong. I know Adeline and they teach sales, not Salesforce. Oh my God, they teach cybersecurity skills out there. And I know the last time I spoke to her, they have an academy, they have a school in Cameroon, which I believe that's where you work. What do you people do at Think Tech Consulting?
Okay, thank you so very much. ThinkTech Consulting is, as you rightly said, is a cybersecurity training institute which has come about to solve the problem of information theft, protecting our data because data is gold. And if you look at the world, there is the black market where these hackers come in, they steal your information, they go to the dark web, they sell them, or they ask for ransom, huge monies, and companies lose. So ThinkTech now, with its creation in 2018, came now into existence to be able to train youths, and not only youths but everyone interested in what protecting information or data as well. And so at FinTech Consulting, we don't only teach you to learn how to protect companies or protect businesses or entities from being hacked or scammed or being penetrated by hackers or scammers. FinTech Consulting also has another aspect of it, whereby when you're being trained, you are also being followed up because a lot of people, after training in various institutions, at times they find it very hard to tackle interview sessions. That is where it determines your fate if you're going to be hired or not. And so with Tintech Consulting, they have a very powerful curriculum where in their curriculum they are able to train you in three parts. Part number one, if you're coming in as a novice, where you have no idea about computer knowledge, where like a scenario where I taught a nurse who has never had any interactions with the computer, she was finding it difficult. Tintech has that first session. that they train you to be able to navigate your computer, able to send emails, because you might find yourself as an administrative assistant and you need those soft skills where your boss can call you and say, hey, Mike, please go to the desktop on the folder, label this, get these details, and send to my email right now. What are you going to do? A lot of people don't know those are basic computer skills you need to know, or typing and assimilating information, filing them, partitioning them, and so on. Now, the second part of FinTech consulting, which is the most interesting, I'll say it's fun because along the line, I will tell you, it's been an interesting journey. Is the aspect of teaching you to become what I'll automatically say you are a guard. You are a guard. That means you are guiding people, you are protecting people, you are protecting information that should not be stolen. And that is why, if you look at fintech consulting courses they offer, they teach you on penetration testing, ethical hacking. They have AWS, they have computer basics as a whole, and they have SOC. That's a SOC. And then also, what they do in the institute is that they teach you generally about cybersecurity, and then they prepare you for SOC. That's the security uh, operation center analyst. And in that environment, too, what they do now is that they don't end there. They also teach you, give you an opening through which you can also work as a network engineer. So they teach you all this within. And now the last part of it is what? The enhancement and resume building. Whereby during the enhancement, you have things like interview sessions, how to collaborate within a team, and as well how to build resumes that will cause your employees to, ask a lot of questions. Who is this person? We need you. So that's a briefing of us. And as you rightly said too, we have branches in the US, we have in Cameroon. Douala has our headquarters here in Cameroon. And I, on my own part, I struggle to run the branch in Bamenda, where I teach computer basics. And for students who might have one or two doubts on some concepts in cybersecurity, we do that. And FinTech consulting, I would say it's also prepares you as an individual, be you a man, a woman, or someone who wants to change your profession. It prepares you for what? The CompTIA Security Plus exams. This is one of those most recognized exams in the globe, whereby once you have this, every company, every organization is rushing for you. And so FinTech prepares you for that exam such a way that you become one of those valuable and sought after cybersecurity practitioners and experts. And lastly, to crown my presentation, um, looking at what I do at FinTech, I am not only a tutor, I am their community manager. That means I am in charge of their social media handles, whereby every day I am entitled to create a content that will educate, inspire, transform, and trigger youths, young persons, our audience, to be able to do what? Get these informations and take actions. And so I've been with them for over 3 years now and counting, and it's been a wonderful experience. A very wonderful one. Thank you.
How is that working for you? Just to piggyback on the last thing you said, there are a few follow-up questions I have for you though. But the last part of it that you just talked about, if we look around us today, one of the things that I see most of our youth, and again, just looking in the bird's eye, most of our youths are more interested in things that will not better their life. That's the truth about it. And that is why on a show like this, you and I talking, we'll have a max of like 8 people watching us. That is because the attention span, if you ask me, of the young girl or the young boy today has been narrowed down to only things that pull adrenaline to most, because platforms like where you are now will struggle to get the attention of those young people. And You always on the ground. How is it for you? How do you manage to get these young people that you have access to listen to you? How what is their response rate on what you just said that you put on social media platforms? What is the reaction? I'm interested in hearing what the response rate is like. How are the young people reacting to this kind of information that you carry along?
Okay. Actually, I would say the reaction is positive and it's good. Why do I say so? Over the years, when you look at the aspect of digital marketing coming into the business phase, just like an academy that goes to educate, it's also like a business whereby you need to generate leads and sell. And I discovered that a lot of people, a lot of youths, they want things, like you rightly said, they want things that will pull their adrenaline. At the same time, these youths, they want things that what will benefit them. They are looking at their interest. But now, how do we do it? That is why it is important for every young person within a scope of this 21st century to develop the skill of copywriting and content creation. Because what I use maybe am I like, who he lost $5,000 just because he never had the right information. And then I go to the next person who I don't know if you can get me.
Yes, now you there
You
was a
too can as well lose that same amount of money if you don't take this information serious. So I use hookers at times in creating my content whereby I got their attention. And then I studied and understood that within the context of young people getting to accept and consume information, we need to introduce diversity in educational system. Whereby there are days we have things like brain box to see if actually they follow what we have been teaching. And secondly, we do things like giveaway. And these giveaways will come now as a question on what we have once been sharing to see if actually they have been assimilating. And that is why when I do that, and I say the consume is because I am into AI, I'm learning AI. And when I see AI generated answers, I know. So I can't give you the winning if you use an AI generated answer, no matter how you edit it. So now these hookers have been able to trigger, and the fastest way, which I told my team, is that for us to able to get the attention of these people, one, the more we share the post, we get the attention, and secondly, we should not stop educating because education of people is the fastest way to sell a product or a service. Tell them the reason why they have to buy and they have to consume it. Because somebody might buy but not consume, another person will buy and consume, but another person will not buy but consume because another person bought. So we make sure that they find themselves within an era whereby they will not only buy but they'll see a reason to consume. So it's from our content that we have been able to catch the attentions of these people and the various strategies I just shared above with you.
Yeah, that's good. I love that again, which means that you've seen these things. The fact that you're addressing them means that you have recognized them and you're looking for ways that you can go around, right? Like, hey, how do I get these people's attention? These are young Cameroonians. There's hundreds, thousands of them back home who have at least a degree or even a diploma who have the capability to learn new stuff and to practice, but sometimes it's just because of lack of information. They do not know any better. And that's why, again, as I said earlier on, I encourage conversations like this. You did make mention of something I want you to expatiate on a little bit, and it's your study of AI. We all know that AI is all over the place. I personally, this is not something that I am still running my head around because I have to use it for work. I have to create automations for AI agents to do stuff for people. And what's your whole thought around AI and how you think that our fellow Cameroonians use AI? First, that part of the question. And secondly, can you give a brief on how best somebody can use AI and not just come off as a copy and paste AI user?
Okay, thank you very much for that question. The first one I will answer is um, how AI is being for the automation process. I would say AI is good because it is the future. It has come to solve problems, but it has not come to take over problems. Yes. Why am I saying so? Because a lot of people, with the coming of AI, it has caused a lot of content creators to do what? To reduce their ability of being creative. And that is why I always say, don't be so addicted to AI in such a way that it kills your creative writing abilities. But it is the future because it only serves as a guide to facilitate work that would have resulted to long thinking periods. So now, with the coming of AI, example, if I had to write a project or a community project on installing solar panels in a village and its economic benefit, what do? I trigger AI with the right prompt. And many people don't know how to use the prompt. And that is why if you look at their contents that are being pasted on many platforms, you will see that it has a lot of what errors in it because the prompt has not given that AI, the machine, because I'll attempt it to be a machine, it has not given it the accurate information it needs. For example, this is the prompt I'll give you. We are on You Can Be Anything podcast. So if I have to go to my chat GPT, for example, I will tell them, act as, that is already first a command, act as the director of You Can Be Anything podcast. Send, write a general communique informing the public about our holiday break and the massive Christmas promo, which will be on there, you put a particular date. Make it catchy and attractive. I have given the AI three things to do. One, I have assigned to you, I've given you a command to act as somebody. I've asked you on what to write on and specify on what I want you to write on. So it gives you a prompt like it's someone writing. At that point in time, there is this, they say AI does not have emotions like human being. But if you see the writing because you use the right prompt, it gives you what? It gives you about a 30% human emotional attachment. But with the wrong use of it now, many people just go, what is the meaning of this? They just copy and they paste, which is not right. It is only a tool for research. I'll call it a tool for research, which, if not rightly used, it's going to be very detrimental. It's going to be very, very detrimental because the wrong use of it will tell your employer, for example, you're applying for a job and you're asking AI to build you a resume and you don't have the right prompt, you don't even edit. A lot of people don't edit. It's going to be very detrimental. Now, looking at, please, what was the second question again?
So the second part of the question is how they use it. That's how you have answered. So you answered the second
Okay.
part. The
All
first
right.
part
Yeah.
was how you think Cameroonians have embraced the use of AI, of ChatGPT. Do you think that they are using it? I think
No.
you answered it part of it.
Many Cameroonians are not using it rightly. Many Cameroonians are not using the chat GPT rightly because it has killed their creative thinking abilities. Let me share a small story with our viewers. So I have these students I train on content creation, and then I told them I want you guys to do a content creation challenge. I want to see your creative writing abilities because that is an exposure to you, to the audience. And a
Mhm.
lot will go, they just go to AI. Maybe we are writing on my worst experience in life. They just go to AI. Please create me a content on some worst experiences in life. Then they carry and paste. But now, how can they use it more better? Since I said AI is being used to generate an idea, to have an idea about a concept you want to build, you simply go and you put the prompt. Okay, act as the principal of St. Paul's College. Write an article on the creation of St. Paul's College, its impact in the community, and its results achieved. You're going to see what AI will give you. They might not know what St. Paul's College is if your school doesn't have a website because it's generated. There's some information you ask and it would extract from websites because the system has been built and
It's
coded
open
as,
AI.
yeah, so it's open. And once it doesn't have it, it gives you a picture of how you should frame your work. So it's not for you to copy and paste, but do what? Use a framework and then you add information and you restructure to meet your expectation and your consumers' expectation. So if Cameroonians learn to understand the use of AI, it will serve us better in the future as we say it is the future than when we just use it to solve problems without actually having a proper editing factor of it. Yeah,
Um, that's
editing.
amazing. Again, you answered like you. That's great. I love how you understand it. I love your emphasis on the prompt because that is the power of AI. The best responses you're going to get from AI are dependent on the request, the prompts that you put in there. They say bad data in, bad data out, bad prompts in, bad responses out. So thank you so much for, I don't need to say any more on that. You hit it right on the head. So thanks again for that. I hope that somebody after listening to us today will get better with the kind of prompts that they put in their chat GPT. And when you start putting better prompts, so just learn how to do prompts, you will realize that the more specific you are, the better the results that you're going to get. And please do not copy and paste.
Paste.
Take it
Yeah.
and make it yours. That's one of the key things that we have to get because we do have software out here that identifies AI generated text. You send that somewhere for a competition or exams or something, they just need to put it somewhere and you identify that, hey, this is generated by AI. So you have to make it yours. Figure out ways to make whatever is, even if what is generated is 100% good for you, still personalize it, take it and change things around to make it your own because the idea of AI is to take away repetitive tasks, right? It's not to take away everything from your hands, but to help you save some time. So again, the encouragement is to use it properly. Talking to you, Michael, you mentioned cybersecurity, and I do understand the importance of cybersecurity. But what do you think? How relevant is cybersecurity in the context of Cameroon? Yeah, let me leave that there. That's a question. Then I can ask you a follow up. Now it looks like you froze. It looks like let's give him a few minutes. Thank you so much, Terence Tony, for my stars. I appreciate you so much. And to all of you who have joined, those of you who are watching, please give the video, give the live session a heart, a thumbs up or a heart if you care that much. But at least a thumbs up. I appreciate that a lot. And also share the video so that your other people can join us. Let's give Michael a few minutes. It looks like we lost him. And I just to think that Cameroon was being fair to me, that the network in Bamenda was being fair to me. And now, just the moment I said that, we lost him. Let's give him a few minutes. He's going to come right back. So please thumbs up the video, send me hearts, let me know that you're watching this as we continue this conversation with Michael. These are conversations that I value a lot because there's a lot of information that we can get from people like this. So I'm bringing you back up, Michael. We lost you for a sec.
Sorry about that. I was kicked out by network, so but
That's
I'm back.
okay. They've been good to us today, even. So I wouldn't complain. I wouldn't complain. Yeah, I was talking to you. The question I asked was, yeah, I know there are a couple of things that Think Tech Consulting offers, right? But the main Think Tech Consulting is built on cybersecurity. I know that other skills are coming into the system, but cybersecurity, how relevant do you think cybersecurity is in the context of Cameroon?
All right. In the context of Cameroon, doing my personal research and findings, because I've visited a lot of banks, I have seen the way they carry on their activities. In the context of Cameroon, I would say cybersecurity should be taken very, very, very seriously. Reasons being that now looking at the issue or the context, cybersecurity, which is what the security on the online space. Cameroonians, they neglect a lot of information when it comes to this. Let's use, I like using the case of banking systems because there are four parts where hackers target in the world. We have the educational systems, we have financial institutions, and when we have these virtual worlds like virtual cards, virtual banking, still has to do with maybe finances. And what happens in Cameroon is they still need to understand the importance of this because the real target has not yet been taken. Until when the real target has been taken, before they will remember that we once said you should protect data. I always emphasize every time that cybersecurity is all about protecting. Cybersecurity is all about confidentiality. It's all about integrity. And this goes on the aspect of those who are for the good, not for the bad, because the
Mm-hmm.
bad will only come to take. And looking at these financial sectors, that is my case study, I would say so. Because now let us see, how do banks lose money? They will never tell you and I that they have lost money. Because if they tell you and I they have lost some huge sums of money, you and I know very well you withdraw your money from that bank
You will not pay your
and
money there. Mm.
you will disappear. But now, because they want to build some level of confidentiality, they want to build some level of availability without making you know it. They still lack the aspect of what employees awareness. They need to train their employees. That is far way back in Cameroon. A lot of these institutions, both financial and educational, don't
Mm.
educate their employees on what cybersecurity measures, which they can use to stay safe on the online space, especially when you're using a company's maybe system.
Yeah.
Just imagine you are a bank manager and you're barging in maybe to your bank or to your company and you see your employee watching Netflix because they are no clients. How did he even get there on the company's system? Definitely, there is that temptation that, oh, I will not finish this movie because a lot of clients are there. Let me download. And because of such downloads, what happens? You find yourself maybe downloading a movie that may have been corrupted or infected with malware or spyware. Imagine a banking system. A lot of data now from the banking system will be lost in the back end of that person who sent out that video. And that is why I said awareness creation on cybersecurity for every employee in every sector in Cameroon needs to be triggered if we must take it serious. Because I would say Cameroon is still undermining and underestimating the importance of cybersecurity in business. And so when you find an employee doing that and you educate them and say, okay, please no downloads on the organizational system, all you need to do is work. This is going to limit them to something. And then secondly, cybersecurity, in as much as we say ends on the online, it's on the online space, it's on the online space. Know that it can be transferable. I can be an employee, I'm so passionate about updates. And I get my
Oh no. He just got kicked out again. Yeah, I love what he was talking about. Yeah, sorry about that. He's going to get that fixed and join again. And maybe I can just throw some light on that question that I asked him about the relevance, right? How does this whole cybersecurity skill play in the context of Cameroon? And the reason I ask this is, are Cameroonian businesses, corporations, are they actually using this skill in their businesses? So that's the purpose of that question. And sorry, kicked you out again.
Yeah, we're back.
It's business. Yeah, sorry for the interruption. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much. So I was saying that if Cameroon, in the context of Cameroon, Cybersecurity have been understood by a few because of what? Their interactions and their networking, getting to understand the importance and the relevance. And now, we as FinTech Consulting, we are trying to build a system whereby not only individuals, but companies should be able to also sponsor some of their employees to be able to take these skills so as to check. Now, I asked this pertinent question the other time I went to a certain bank in Bamenda. They were complaining about, oh, the machine is too slow. Please, and we're on the line for a long time. And I asked myself, and I asked, when I went to the counter, this was the question I asked. When was the last time you updated your computers? Nobody. There was no answer.
You don't even know.
Nobody knew. Everyone was looking at me like, I was like, if you say it's slow, when was the last day you updated it? And it was a triggering question. People may, but I had to leave. My problem was to get my money and go, or to run my errands and go as well. So you see that these things have been neglected until they fall prey to it. That is when they see an importance of it. So ThinkTech now is coming in to do what? Make sure that the people know the do's, the don'ts, how to go about it, and how to do it best through our elaborate trainings. And that's why we keep having awareness sessions, we keep having orientation sessions like the one that will be coming up in January, and sessions to let the people know that every day. And something very pertinent, I want to shock you, Ma'am Solange. We deal with a lot of mobile money in Bamenda.
Yeah, that mobile
Yeah,
money
a lot of
one
mobile
is
money. And someone will say, oh, but mobile money has nothing to do with cybersecurity. And I was like, do you have data? That mobile money account you have, does it carry your information? Yes. The money you have in it, is it your data? What if that money is stolen? And they were like, so what are you trying to say? I said everything that has to do with the digital space needs to be protected,
yeah.
either by using two-factor authentications, double-coded systems, or you should be protected by first having the knowledge that this thing can be taken away from you if you are not being protected.
Yeah.
And that's how we got rolling. And I think ThinTech has been able to help and educate a lot of people, and we keep doing that.
Awesome. That's good. What do you know about the job market for cybersecurity in Cameroon? How is that job market?
Okay. I've been on a research now for over 2 months privately, without my team knowing, because that's my job. So as be able to also let people know. Now, since in the world we have over 50,000 job opportunities there, and in Cameroon, what I discovered when I was in Douala is that a lot of companies do what? They hire experts from different countries because
Right.
they believe they are from different countries, they have the expertise. Meanwhile, in Cameroon, we have experts, we have them. Yes, we have them. I would like to quote an example, and I want to celebrate them. Permit me, like Mr. Zo Bruno, we have Mr. Tata Derek. Those are Cameroon-breeded um, cybersecurity practitioners, and they are deep into it. They are Cameroonians, and they have bred in their talents into other young Cameroonians. But then it is not because the Cameroonians have not taken the talent, but it's because maybe I would say, permit me dive into politics a bit, the system has not accepted that Cameroon can still deliver. So now it is for us to do what? Create massive awareness of what? Institutions like this that train. And then we do what? Recommendations and referrals. That is going to create and spark an awareness that this thing works in Cameroon, and we have these persons who can solve their problems. Look at the hospitals. The hospitals, they have x-ray machines, they have scanners, they have different machineries. And as a penetration tester, someone might die during maybe an operation or a particular electronical scan or something where it tests
Yeah.
backups. But now, since hackers are intentional about getting information to cripple a particular domain so as to get what I call ransom, what do? They start doing sending phishing mails. That's why they also educate your staff not to click on emails or links anyhow.
Yeah.
How many of them have called for the attention of penetration testers to be able to test their machines for vulnerabilities if they are free or not? Keep running. So it is our part as Cameroonians And our part as Tintech Consulting to continuously sensitize, educate, and create awareness until the population and those who need our service understand that Cameroon can deliver. And trust me, there will be a day, there will be a year, there will be a month when there will be a demo session like this, and Cameroon will get to believe that they are talents like this. I believe
Yeah.
so one day. Yeah.
I agree with you 100% because the tendency is for most big companies in Cameroon. Look at even our treasury, not only private companies, even the public ones. I know that I have heard, I do not have first-hand information on this, that some of the things are not even digitalized yet, right? Which is it's a shame. You get it. But assume that for the part of the system that has been digitalized, you will ask yourself, who are the people guarding these systems? Most of those people I hear are from outside. They are not even the Cameroon based talents. Right. And that's why I asked you that question. What do you think about the market? Because it is one thing to encourage our young people to learn skills, and it's another thing to talk to them. One of the most difficult questions I have had to answer as a tutor or as a teacher of Salesforce is, hey, what is the job market like? Or what is it going to take for me to get a job? That's one of the most difficult conversations I have with my students. It's a big one because I personally, when I learned the skill, I did not get a job over 6 months, not over a year. I got a job over a year and almost 9 months later that I got a job when I learned my new skill. But I've also encountered people who got jobs because why are we learning these skills, Michael? You and I know. Yes, it is to protect the system, but we also want to make money. We want to become better versions of ourselves, right? People want to earn an income. If you're spending the hours to learn something, you want to make sure that that thing that you're learning serves you, it gives you, it pays your bills. So it is a
Yeah.
very, it's a question that I personally, and I bet that even I think that consulting, you people have the same challenge that I have when I teach is, hey, what is the job market like? Because most people, when they dedicate the time, they are looking, I don't know, as human beings, we love things snappy, quick, quick, quick. Like, hey, okay, I've learned the skill, I've finished the course, let me get a job. A lot of people are like that, but that is not how the world works,
Yeah.
right? It's
Yeah.
truly not how the world works. And so, how are you people tackling challenges like this, questions like this at Think Tech Consulting when your students start asking you, like, hey, what is the job market? Hey, I have finished the course. Now, how am I going to get a job? How are you people dealing? Because I know it is a challenge for every skill based institution.
Okay. So now with the jobs, let's use the case of Europe. There are always jobs. The job market there is booming. Cameroon
Mhm.
as well, I would say it's booming, but we have limited ourselves to believe that there are no opportunities. Why do I say so? Because I've visited a lot of areas, I've visited a lot of persons, places, and I would say that when we have questions like these coming up, popping up, is the job market, how is the market? People there is. But there is first thing, the mindset you take into the market. A lot of people believe that when you learn a skill now, you just barge in and you're being picked up. No.
Mhm.
People, they say, buy from those they know, they love, and they trust. And so, how do you build the love, the trust, and it? I'm in Cameroon, I learned cybersecurity. What did I do to be able to catch the attention of some people, which I know is gradually going to yield fruit, is that I built trust by doing what? Volunteering. You can offer some volunteering services to
Like,
one or
wow.
two companies you have identified issues because volunteerism is the door or is a key. When you volunteer and you offer your services to some companies, to some banks, to some schools, they see your worth during your volunteering period. There is that tendency of either hiring you or recommending you.
Yep,
And so,
I
as Tinte
agree.
Consulting, sent our arms. We are in Douala, we are in Bamenda, we are in Yaoundé. So every time we try as much as possible to reach out. And so when you learn the skill, the truth is, if you don't go far to search, you will not see.
Mhm.
Yes. And so aside from searching, what you do is if you cannot get that job that needs you to be running errands, protecting systems. What do? When you learn and you have it, you can go back to teach another person. That's another way you can generate income for yourself. For example, like me, I learned, but then I wasn't opportune to maybe get out there, get to work. I create awareness because I want to seize the opportunities to fit in somewhere. But I said, then I have it as a mastery now. Can I
Yeah.
teach? So as I'm teaching, I earn something and I perfect my mastery in the domain. So it's
Yep.
another way. So that's another way. So Cameroon has those massive opportunities. I'll only say and recommend that the young persons and individuals interested in cybersecurity should forge their way in to do what volunteer first, have a mastery, and then always research. Always research because when you research, you will see opportunities for volunteering, and when you see opportunities for volunteering, you're going to exhibit or execute your skills, and then there's a tendency for you to be taken. That's what I can say for this case. But everything that is coming to solve a problem has a good pay. I would say so. Yeah.
Awesome. I love your response to this a lot. I really like it because it is, you've talked about volunteering, which is something that a lot of people don't consider when they learn new skills. And to add to that, I know you talk, there is networking, which is something that I don't know if our people, I don't know if they use it well enough. I know people network, but we have to learn how to network well, and that is another skill that, apart from having Facebook, if you're learning cybersecurity in Cameroon, and apart from having Facebook, you need a LinkedIn profile.
Yeah.
One of the places where I see stuff in Cameroon is on LinkedIn, and I go and I click,
Yeah.
I see something, and I'm clicking on it on LinkedIn. I'm like, oh wow, these people are on LinkedIn. Make sure you get yourself a professional LinkedIn profile. Being on Facebook is not enough. Facebook and TikTok, yes, you can network there, but that's not enough. If you ask me, get on LinkedIn, get a good profile, make sure that you specify on there what you can do, and now and again be active. Post the things that you have learned if you've learned something new, because remember that learning is a journey. What Michael knows today when it comes to cybersecurity, I do not know. So do not feel like when you go out there and you talk about what you have learned, you just assume that, hey, but everybody knows this. No, you're talking about yourself, right? And this is a strategy that I personally use when I learned Salesforce. I was on LinkedIn every day. I was putting on posts, even if I just complete one little trail on Trailhead by Salesforce. I go onto LinkedIn and I say, hey, this is what I got today. This is what I learned consistently, right? People start reacting to these things. Sometimes, even when you put it, tag some of those companies that you wish to work for, tag them, because this is how you're networking. This is how you're putting yourself out there. Let's pick for example, let's say MTN Cameroon. You build something in maybe one of the data analysis classes or one of the cybersecurity classes, just something. You build something that you know that, hey, I have mastered this thing and this is good. When you go onto LinkedIn, type it, write what you have done. Sometimes just a write up is good. Visuals are good. If you can afford to make a very short video of it, make it. If not, just a screenshot, a picture of it is still good enough. And in your post, tag people like MTN. Let's say your target is for MTN to notice you, to get your attention. Okay, I noticed that Michael was losing connection. When he joins, then we will wrap up the show. But it is so important for us to do these things, because it is not just enough to learn a skill and put the certificate in your pocket. You need to show people out there that you can do these things. Talk to people about what you do, not only talking to them, but also make posts. It is important that we all have LinkedIn profiles, because that is where it shows that you've gone past the standard of Facebook, which Facebook is considered to be a lot more social, more of a social platform than a professional platform. You can still get some good networks, some good connections on Facebook, don't get me wrong, but LinkedIn is more of the professional place. So yes, have your Facebook, talk about what you do on Facebook, it's cool. But then on LinkedIn, also make sure that you put those things there, and you can never be too sure who is going to come across your profile and be like, hey, This person is a cybersecurity expert. This person is great at graphic design. Or hey, as Michael said at the beginning, data is everything today, right? A few months ago, I told you people I was learning Salesforce Data Cloud. That is because, yes, truly, data is everything. All companies want to protect their data. So it's important that we look into these things, find the niches, find the parts of the skills that are in the market today that align with what you love to do and focus your energy on them, right? You see, King, you need to be a part of this conversation, right? I wish I told you you would have joined us. But yeah, I'm probably going to make a show with you because I know that you're another person that uses the skills you have in such an amazing way. Right. Let's see if Michael is going to join. If Michael is going to join again. Thank you so much, Jatsa Joy. Thanks for joining. Give me a second. Let me ping Michael and see if he can still join. I see. Oh yeah, he's here. All right. Yeah, King, I have to coordinate with you. Let's have one of these conversations. So Michael is back here. You want to bring him up? Yeah, sorry for the interruption. I'm even happy
Yeah,
that you can go and come back. Because
it's not easy. Just have to catch up.
yeah, it's
So
been an
we
amazing conversation, and I love how we begin that question around what the job market is like, and your encouragement around volunteering and going out there and being stuff. That is, I love how we put that together. Is there anything you'd have loved to talk about that I haven't asked you as we round up the show?
actually what I had just to say to invite all those who are watching is that in as much as we have to prepare ourselves first, because security, cyber security, just like they say, leadership rise, everything rises and falls with leadership. Cyber security, everything rises and falls around you as an individual. Because if anything has to happen, it starts from who? The person who gave the access, and that's you. So all what I would like to say is I would like the audience watching us to maybe join Think Tech Consulting on the 5th of January. Let's have an interesting orientation session on cybersecurity. Let's see real-time happenings in the world, how hacking is being done, how credentials are being tapped out. Because like a time the other day I tried something crazy. I hacked my own phone. I could do screenshots on somebody using my phone, screenshot their chat, change information. That was a crazy kind of something I learned. It was mad. So can we be part of that orientation session on the 5th of January? That will be 3 p.m. Eastern time, 9 p.m. Cameroon time. And let's get to learn. When we start to save ourselves, we save our neighbors, we are going to save the world, and we'll be in a better place. That's that's just my
Awesome.
little.
Where is the orientation taking place? What platform?
Okay, it's going to be on Zoom, and for those who might be interested, I don't know if they will get through your platform. They can drop their email address, and
Mhm.
then the team is going to reach out to them with a unique Zoom information that can aid them to join that session.
Do you have a flyer on ThinkTech Consulting page on this?
Yes, we have a flyer running there already. I could still send that personally to you.
Okay,
So,
sure. And the name of the page, yeah, you can send it to me. As I said, is ThinkTech Consulting. That's their Facebook. You've not changed that name, right? I know when I talked to
yes, I haven't
Adeline,
changed. Yes, I haven't changed it.
let me
I
see. I don't
haven't
know if
changed.
Adeline is watching. I would have told her to tag the page underneath here. Um,
Let me see if I could tag.
mhm. I'll just write the name of the page as it appears on Facebook. So,
Yeah, and for
like,
anyone who cannot identify, the logo I have here on my chest, you're going to see the
see
logo.
it on there, and you also have it behind you, even so.
Yeah, so I have it behind me. It's very visible. You're going to see Tintech Consulting, and there you can have every information there that you need.
Yeah. Yes, please do check out the page. I'm going to once we get off this live, I'm going to tag the page again on this video. So if you watch this, you know where to go to get the information, you need to join them on January 5th as they do. You say it's an orientation, the whole on what you're offering and what the courses are like, right? So it's a good,
Yeah.
again, orientation is not something that we saw a lot when we were going to school. This time we have understood the importance of orientation, and it is a good way to just go learn what it is about and do your own self evaluation. Is this for me? Is this something I want to do? Does this intrigue me? Because I believe so much in putting my energy in the things that intrigue me. So this is an orientations and an opportunity for you to go and get more information about the things you've probably heard Michael and I talk about today. The orientations will be a little bit more detailed, and based on what you get from there, you can now decide and make the decision if this is the right thing for you or not. Awesome. Anything else you love to add, Michael?
Practically, I think I've passed out what I had for my audience and your audience as well. And I just want to tell them that whatever you have heard here, let us be intentional in practicing it. It's not all about getting, it's all about putting it into practice so as not to be victims. Yeah, that's all I can say for today.
Awesome. And so if I put you on the spot again to say one final thing, in this case, you're not talking to my audience or to your audience, you're talking to the world. And you have to say something to someone out there that cares to listen and make it something that someone can live by. And this is my fictional microphone that I always mimic to say, yes, Michael, you're talking to the world. Everybody is listening. What will you tell them?
To the world, I want to let the world know that we can make it a better place. First, by being informed, and secondly, by letting others be informed. Because if we are informed, we are going to help others be informed, and we are going to stay safe and make the world a better place, especially in the era where we find ourselves, where a lot of criminality is taking place both on and offline. And lastly, to the world, let us not only be preachers of peace, love, but let us be doers of what we say. If we want to live as the one Africa where we say Ubuntu, I am because you are, and if we want to live like the world, one, united, just like the Roman Catholic Church, then I would say let us be doers of what we say. And Merry Christmas in arrears and a prosperous New Year to all. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Michael. I appreciate your time. I appreciate you for all the knowledge that you have shared on here. And hey, if you ever feel like there is something more you would like to share, my platform is open. Reach out to me and we can have another of this type of shows. Okay.
Thank you very much, man.
You're welcome. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
This has been amazing. Thank you all so much for joining. I do appreciate your time. I appreciate your comments. I appreciate your likes and your hearts. I appreciate that you had the time for this. Positive Mind Child says it's crucial for our community to understand the challenges that they may face in the IT field and the skills required. However, I recognize that some people pursue IT for financial gain while others do it out of passion and dedication. Yes, whether it is for passion, again, King, yes, for financial gain, because people have to take care of themselves, but also the institutions have to realize the importance of hiring the skill that is needed to protect their data, to protect their systems, which is something that I know you have a better understanding of. And so, yes, I agree with you. Slowly, again, I hope that the Cameroonian community or Cameroon in general will understand the importance of this and not only outsource and not continue to outsource the skills, but make an effort to use the skills that we have back home, because a lot of people back home have learned these skills. They know how to do these things, and you'll realize that they themselves are struggling to find jobs, because it's not because every system in Cameroon or every corporation in Cameroon does not use skills like cybersecurity. They do use it. The disadvantage is that some people outsource the skill when in Cameroon itself, we have people who are willing to do this and have the knowledge to do it. So fingers crossed, this is something that gets better. And again, we continue to create this awareness by talking to people like Michael, which we had on here today, and continues to encourage people to come up and share their thoughts. And let's just keep having these conversations because, as we say, it's a kind of sensitization, right? The more people hear about it, the more they'll become more conscious, the more they will probably act on it. And yeah, the goal is for us to build a better place, to build a better community, to build a better Cameroon, okay, in our own little way. Thank you so much for your time. I do appreciate you all. If you have any questions, please put them in the comment section, whether you're watching on YouTube or on Facebook. I'll go through that. If there are any questions that require answers, if I do not have the answers, I'll reach out to the team at Think Tech Consulting and Michael, and we'll get the answers for you. Thank you again for your time. Hope you all had a Merry Christmas. And for those who are celebrating the octave of Christmas, Merry Christmas to you again. And as we look forward to 2025, I hope that this video, this live session, will be a motivation for you to pick up something new. And even if not you, to encourage someone else to pick up something new. And let's go into 2025 with hope that things will get better. Thanks again for your time and stay blessed. Remember, in everything you do, be kind and also be good to each other. Love you all. Bye bye. Your one and only. So, babes.